If you listen to us on iHeartRadio on the app, tell me where you do it, out of state. You know, we have a lot of bureau chiefs that listen in the great state of South Carolina. We have Jack, who's in Hilton Head. Got Mike in Greenville. Got Brad in Fort Mill, South Carolina. I was thinking of them this morning because South Carolina wants to bring back firing squads and electric chairs for people on death row. And I say, bravo.
Firing squad.
You know, well, because a lot of these states have to contend with the fact that they either can't get or can't afford the drugs anymore, like the lethal injections. So that's why they're like trying to come up with all these weird options now. They're like, let's try hydrogen. Let's try. So in a lot of these states, they say that, hey, we got to go back to maybe some old-timey stuff. Or we've got to figure out other options because we got to keep up the killing. We got a lot, there's a huge backlog of death row inmates, people whose executions are imminent. You know, once you are given the death penalty, it's not like they're going to kill you the next week. You automatically get numerous stages of appeal. So, there's people who die on death row.
I want to know
before they get executed. You want to know what?
I want to know who was the quickest person to die from being on death row. Like,
you mean between conviction and execution?
From the time being convicted to the time they served. Like, was it a year, 2 years?
Probably Michael Clark Duncan.
The Green Mile?
Mr. Jangles.
So there are a bunch of death row guys in South Carolina who've run out of appeals. And they're trying to argue that the electric chair and the firing squad are cruel and unusual punishment. That's the, Eighth Amendment forbids cruel and unusual punishment, right? And I guess South Carolina's thought is, well, if you do something all the time, it's not unusual anymore.
It's just cruel.
So let's get back to the electric chair and the firing squad. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Dude, that's crazy.
Who cares?
That is a way to go. A firing squad? Do they make it like...
What do you want in your tombstone? Pepperoni and sausage.
Why don't they just make it like gladiator style then? At least get some, entertainment out of it, if that's the case.
Who would the gladiators be?
It would be two inmates. One of you...
Yeah, but they both are meant to die.
Understandable, but at least I feel like that would be justification to... make it more cruel. Like, okay, one of you will win and you can have your life back, but one of you's going to die terribly. So you cut costs. Well, actually, no, you make money and you're saving lives. You're killing one, but you're also saving one.
Well, I think what they're probably trying to do is these lawyers for these guys are trying to see to it that they aren't killed at all. Because they're going, look, you guys can't get the lethal injection drugs. And the states that have them, they argue that the drugs are too new and they don't know,
Aren't they confiscating records amount of fentanyl? Can't they just overdose them?
Not a bad idea. So they're arguing that the law in favor of lethal injections is too vague and the electric chair and the firing squad are cruel and unusual.
Question.
Yeah.
If your family member is on death row and they get, they die from execution or whatever they do you then get that insurance money from that person dying still or no? Do you forfeit that money?
You think a death row inmate has life insurance?
Well, you can have life insurance on your spouse,
you
right?
You can, but I can't imagine you're going to keep paying life insurance premiums for someone who's going to...
Hell yeah, I would if I knew he was going to die.
But I think that would probably,
That's why
That's probably tantamount to insurance fraud. I mean, if they were
But if I had it before...
If it says cause of death and they go lethal injection...
He was executed. If I didn't execute him, the state executed him. I've been paying on this insurance. I want my money.
Well,
That's not my fault.
Insurance companies' job is to see to it that they don't pay out. Whether it's life insurance, they will go tooth and nail. They want your money. They don't want to give any of it back to you.
That's not my fault, homie. You said...
Not your fault, but That's why all these home insurance companies have pulled out of Florida. They're like, we're going to go broke. We're supposed to take your money, not give it back. It's all gambling. But I can't imagine. I honestly don't know the answer to your question. I'm just saying that I would imagine that it would probably nullify a life insurance policy if a person is on death row.
Well, that was my question, because I find that interesting, because there's not very many people that do get executed from being on death row, like from being sentenced to death. So the people that do, I'm like, it's $100. I don't know what a healthy life insurance policy is. $300,000. The state's not going to give you $300,000 because they killed your person or the insurance company.
This insurance website says a death row inmate most likely can't buy life insurance. However, if they have an existing policy,
that's what I'm talking about.
Their beneficiaries could still receive their death benefit. It would depend on the specifics of the life insurance policy. So you have a point. I'm just saying the insurance company, I guarantee, would fight tooth and nail to not pay out on a death row inmate's life insurance policy.
Dude's trying to appeal it. His wife's like, no, that's fine. That's fine. It's time for you to die. We're about to get this paper real quick.
But I think a large portion of these death row inmates have been on death row for a lot. Well, like, we watched a documentary on Richard Ramirez, who was the Night Stalker in the 70s in California. And the dude died before they could execute him. Like, he died of lung cancer, something. I don't know. He'd been on death row for 30 years. And they just die on death row because they don't get to him. So because there's a shortage of these lethal injection drugs, these states, I think Ohio's had to do it too, these states go, okay, what else can we do? Like Alabama just put that guy to death with nitrogen because sometimes they botch the lethal injections too. And they're like, well, it won't be bad. But then these people are like flopping around like a fish. And,
I don't want to do that.
You know,
I don't care.
Because like the victims' families are there, the prisoners' families are there. Everybody's there.
Would you go watch your family member get killed, or would you go and watch if somebody killed someone in your family?
Yes.
And you'd go to watch it.
I would.
No, because I'm the one that has to live with.
If somebody killed your mom, you wouldn't go see them put to death.
I want to know that I would see them after they're dead. I don't want to see. I'm the one that has to live with the image of someone dying in front of me. I don't care who.
What, you never seen somebody die before? Big deal.
No, I've never seen anybody die before. And I've seen someone dead. I've never seen someone die. I don't want to see someone, suffering or like gasping for air. I have to live with that image.
You don't want to see the person who killed your mother suffer.
I would.
Hells yes.
If I know that they suffered, yes, but I don't want to see it.
What if they brutally murdered her? Like
he's
they
just saying
chopped her up and ate her and stuff. You wouldn't want to see that guy die?
Poundcake doesn't want to have nightmares.
Honestly, yeah, I don't want to have that image in my mind.
I'm with Poundcake. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want.
I want to know that he's dead. I want to go and look. I will poke him and he's dead. Okay, that's it. But I don't. I'm the one that has to live with the image of.
Do I get to do the firing squad or do the injection?
Do I get to press the button?
Well, if you don't want to watch it, how are you going to do it?
Well, it's different.
It's not different.
It's like
it's not different.
I don't like long car trips when I'm not driving, but when I'm driving, I don't mind it.
No, I don't get pleasure from that. People talking about
I could kill somebody. It's like a long car trip.
People talking about their trauma. I can totally get behind. I'll sit and eat snacks to it all day. But once they're being tortured, I don't like watching that
Well,
stuff.
listen, I'll take you at your word. I'm just saying I don't think any of us can theorize how we would react if one of our family members was brutally murdered by someone and then had the opportunity to see that person put to death.
I just don't think I'd want. I think it'd be more like I don't want to keep dwelling on it.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But that would be your closure. That would be the last of the dwelling.
No, the funeral would be, or seeing him dead would be the closure, but I don't need to see him.
I want to watch him take his last breath.
The closure is he gets sentenced and that's going to happen, and then I'm going to just put it out of my mind. I'm not as big on closure as some people.
But all I'm saying is as long as it, on average, takes for these people to be executed, you'd be a much older person, and maybe you might have some different thoughts on it.
So if they, for example, what you guys are saying, Alan and Mary, the guards are holding them down. I'm giving this scenario. They're holding the prisoner down, and everyone's saying, we're going to stab him to death. We'll let you take the first jab. Or would you do it? because this person
Wait a
killed your.
minute.
But
Right.
that's
Wait, what-
that's
wait,
not
no,
a form
that's
of
not- no.
We're not making up capital punishment.
But you're saying you're okay with like you want to see someone suffer.
No. I said if somebody murdered a member of my family, I would have no problem with seeing them put to death. I mean,
But you want to see them die.
I'm just saying, take your pick from what's available. Electric chair, lethal injection. Nobody's talking about holding a guy down and stabbing him to death. We're talking about the forms of capital punishment. And again, I'm pro capital punishment. I'm not one of these fake Christians who say that they're pro-life but are also love capital punishment. I'm for it because I'm an atheist. But I'm not talking about holding somebody down and stabbing them.
Well,
Would I have a problem with watching a guy who killed somebody I love killed in a firing squad? No. Hell no.
I don't want to watch it.
Well, you don't have to. I'm just saying.
Think,
I don't have a problem with it.
I used to think that if you murdered somebody, however you murdered them was how you should be killed. So if you like bludgeon them to death with a hammer, that's how you die. Or like if you, whatever it might be, those people who like, you know, my father prevented the second coming of Christ, so I stabbed him 19 times and ate his liver. Well, we get somebody to stab you 19 times and eat your liver. That's what I always.
But
was
then
like,
doesn't that perpetuate itself because then somebody in that family has to kill the person that stabbed them?
Eye for an
no,
eye.
they're hired.
Well, what if they were hired to kill
They're
the
an
other
assassin.
person? What if the first person was an assassin?
No,
What if they were
That's
hired
not
to
what
kill
that
your
is.
dad?
That's not what we're talking
That's
about.
a poetic note, but I don't think it has like practical applications.
Why?
Because let's limit it to what we have available to us, is what I'm saying.
We
You know,
have unlimited.
I want to
we
take a
have
guy up in a
unlimited.
plane and then drop him out on.
Yes.
Also, you guys are all way more revenge oriented than
I'm
I
not.
am.
I'm just
I
saying I
am.
would not have a problem watching the person who killed my loved one die.
Bill, if someone killed one of your kids, you wouldn't want to watch that dude die.
No, I would.
That's
I
crazy.
would not want to. I wouldn't want to watch him die. I would be happy if he got the death penalty and stuff like that. But I don't want to. I don't ever want to see his face again.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you
But
guys.
you want to see the life leave his face.
No, I don't
This is
want to
what
see
you
his face
deserve,
again.
You piece of crap.
No, I don't think it's weird that you don't want to see that. I'm just saying I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Like I'm cool with seeing.
A lot
him.
of people don't want to watch it. There's a lot of people, family members, and who don't go see that
It's
stuff.
not. It's not about the dude. Like, oh, so much hate for this dude. I want to see him die. I don't want to see any human being take their last breath. That's traumatizing. They're not going to remember it. They don't have to live with it. I do. So it's just like, oh wow, I just saw that person like, you know, twitching or do whatever they do for the last second of their life. That's
You have nightmares
traumatizing.
about a dude twitching?
Also, I've watched enough superhero movies that I know that when they kill the person that wronged them, it doesn't change anything.
Right, they're not.
We learned
fulfilled.
this from Batman, the Michael Keaton Batmans. We learned it from.
Revenge doesn't change
Yeah,
anything.
it doesn't
I
really
don't know
change
about that.
anything. Yeah.
Um,
Well, you haven't watched as many superhero movies as I have.
I'm a vengeful person.
They
I
said-
noticed.
I can hold a grudge, and I never thought that I did. And the more I learn about myself, I'm like, man, when people wrong me, I am completely fine just shutting you out of my life forever.
Yeah,
And if you were to do something egregious, like kill one of my members, I mean, I would maybe stab them. If they were like, hey, you want to flip the switch on this electric chair? Hell yeah, I do. Let me do that.
You know, they say, what's the old saying? Before you go on a journey of revenge, you should dig 2 graves because you have killed yourself as well.
Nah.
Not everybody believes that, but that is the thought behind that. I think is pretty
No,
sound.
I feel like I'm more of best revenge is leading a good life, like kind of forgetting about that person. That
no,
kind of
it depends
thing.
on what
No.
it is. Because there's some things like if someone kills a relative of yours, a close relative, you're never going to be the same after that. So there.
I didn't say I was going to
They
be
took
the
something
same.
from you, dude.
I
This guy
understand.
took a huge part of your life.
I get that, but it's also I'm not going to worry about. I don't want to think about that person.
So kill him, and then you never have to think about him again.
I don't think that's how it works. I don't think you're going to kill that person and then be like, well, don't got to think about that again. I think it's going to take up more of your brain than ever.
I'm cool with seeing them dead. Like
They deserve it.
I'm cool with them being dead. I'm cool with them dying. I don't want to see them dead. I don't want to see them dying. But aftermath, I'm like, ooh, you know.
Now, if something happened like that, I would want to, like I want to remember the person that
brutally murdered, dude.
brutally murdered. Yes, I understand, but again, it's just talking about it makes me incredibly sad, and I don't think and I want to get away from that as much as I can. So I
Makes
want to
me
remember
mad.
the person that I loved as best I can, but I don't want to lose myself to anger and violence.
Like if someone burned someone up, and so I couldn't watch someone else then be set on fire and
I
burned
would.
alive.
I'd set him on fire. I'd take the gas can.
I couldn't watch that. I don't want to watch someone be burned alive.
I don't know if you'd feel that way if it actually happened. Maybe I wouldn't be as gung-ho, but...
Again, I think I'm honest in the fact that I'm cool with them dying. Like, you took a life, your life should be taken. But I don't
Again,
want to
I'm fine. I want there to
partake.
be punishment. I want there to be justice. I just don't want it to consume me, and like I don't think I'm going to get any satisfaction out of being there when they lose their life.
Well,
I don't feel like it's going to give me closure. It's not going to bring back the person that I lost. It's not going to
that's why you need goons to do it.
be
Yeah, Poundcake is no trouble other people doing it.
Yeah, you
Doing the
again,
dirty work.
I don't want to partake, but I'll see the aftermath. Like, is he call me when he's dead, and I get to come.
You don't want to do your own dirty work.
It's not my dirty work. Like
You said that's what goons are for.
Well, yeah. If I had someone, they took out one of the members of my family, and then they're like, we're about to pull up on this dude. You want to ride? You want to go get him? I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to. I'm already in enough pain. I'm not going to get closure from it. Call me when it's done. And they go and do it. I didn't tell them to do it, but they did it. Then fine. I'll show up to the funeral, look over and say, I won, bitch. And then I'll leave. But I don't want to kill anybody.
I could kill somebody, I bet.
I could kill somebody in self-defense, or like if they were going to hurt my family.
Yeah, anyone's capable.
Okay,
of
wait,
it.
so you could kill someone in the moment if
in-
they were trying to hurt
Yes,
your
but I'm
family
not-
member,
I'm
but if
not
they
acti-
actually killed them, you wouldn't do anything.
That would give him nightmares, Mary.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's not going to be like premeditated, like, oh, I'm going to kill you. But if someone's approaching me a certain way, yes, I'm going to defend
Yeah,
myself.
but you're going to have the same trauma.
if
You're
he
going to have
ha-
the same trauma of watching that guy take his last
But
breath.
but I'm not premeditating it. I'm not trying. He's coming at me like it's self-defense. I'm not actively trying to kill someone. I'm going to do as much as I can to
All right.
get you away from
polar
me.
blast punishment. Everybody's got to kill somebody.
Yeah, if you
Oh,
happen,
See how you feel.
if you happen to die-
Self-preservation.
Yeah.
If you happen to die, you happen
You'll
to
never
die.
know when it's coming, but once it happens, be ready and smile because we're going to film it.
I don't want to torture someone.
That's not true. Every day on this show.
You really torture our ears.
I don't do it on purpose. That's just how I'm born.
Alan, I can't believe Mr. Surviving R. Kelly as my comfort show wouldn't want to see somebody die.
I said trauma all day, every day. Torture is a different thing.
All right.
Yeah, tell me about your problems. Sip your tea, sis. But I don't want to watch you, get touched by R. Kelly.
Get touched.
Just tell me
Alan, my
about it.
husband, was murdered, and I pray every day the guy who did it dies a horrible death in prison.
And that's your right.
Yeah, I'm not saying everybody handles it
Let 'em
different.
die.
Right.
I'm just saying based on how I feel right now. And again, like Mary said, if it actually happened, I might feel different. I don't think I would want to dwell on it, and I wouldn't want to see that person die.
Well, I think I'm the only family member in here that has a family member that committed murder and is in prison for it. So,
Yeah.
Depends on your
That
standards.
is true.
and I'm cool.
How'd you vote on issue 1?
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm cool with whatever the family wants to do with him. He was wrong. I don't defend that whatsoever. He's my family, but I could never condone what he did, because if it was done to me, I would feel the same way. But I don't want to watch somebody die. That's just not in my spirit.
When we were at the Louvre in Paris, they have the Code of Hammurabi. They have the original tablet that is carved into like these ancient rules of justice and punishment and things like that. It's this massive black stone that was only recovered near the beginning of the 20th century, and it's wild. It's obviously in a language that you can't read, but it's like one of the earliest. It's one of the earliest things carved on justice, and so it's kind of it goes right back to eye for an eye type stuff. But I don't think it's weird that you wouldn't want to see it. I mean, I understand that.
I mean, I get it, but I would honestly, depending on how they killed my family member and who it was, if they killed like
It's John Mayer.
a little kid, even if it's John Mayer.
And what if they did it by
killed,
paper
like,
cuts?
one of my nieces or
Okay,
nephews or Brian's
okay.
daughter, like a little kid, a helpless little kid, and they just, like in a brutal way, I would go to prison for the rest of my life to kill that person myself. And I would be fine with it. I would have no guilt.
What if John Mayer killed your younger sister by orgasming her to death?
Wow.
That's
Really he threw his shoulder out with that one.
Then I have to kill
orgasming her to death.
Then I have to kill John Mayer
he-
by orgasming him to death.
Yeah.
He pleased her so
the only way.
completely that it killed her. So that's how
That's
it would be
right.
like, your body's about to be a wonderland of pain.
Oh, my God. A thigh for a thigh. Alan, I'm an ex-soldier. It's not that big of a deal to kill somebody. You get used to it. If they deserve to die, it would be very easy.
That
Well,
sounds
yeah.
like
I mean,
something
if the
that needs
government's
to,
paying you to do it, I guess that's one thing. I mean,
What human being says that another human being deserves to die?
If they brutally murder a
this
child,
person who texted me.
if they cut up a little kid into pieces, yeah, you
or
deserve
they're trying
to
to
die.
defend their homeland against people invading to take oil.
That's not what we're talking about. We're
Well,
talking
that's what the
about
soldier's
a
kinda
murder
talking
in
about.
here, killing one of our family members. Our family members are not being invaded for oil.
Right, but I'm saying the soldier, that's a situation where I don't think I could have joined the military because I don't think
you ain't got the heart.
I don't think it's justified. I don't think
You don't agree with it.
a lot of the stuff that they've done over the past 30 years hasn't been about protecting America. It's been about other
You're
interests.
protecting American interests. There's a difference.
They deserve to die. Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Where is that from?
That's me.
That's
That's
from
the
Time to Kill.
Time to Kill.
Oh, not
Kevin
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Spacey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Time to Kill.
That
Kevin
was the
Spacey
civilian
and-
version of You Can't Handle the Truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they deserve to die. Don't burn in hell.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Yep.
That's me.
Kevin Spacey.
Young Matthew McConaughey,
He
right?
trapped him. Yeah, and Sandy Bullock. Great movie.
That is a great movie. That scene, that courtroom scene where he gets the conviction overturned is very good.
It's a great movie. Kiefer Sutherland's the KKK guy. Great cast. And Kevin Spacey. I'm sorry, man. I love Kevin Spacey.
What if he killed your mom?
Then I would kill him. I would orgasm him to death, Bill. I got a break here. If you want to go see that, you want to orgasm to death, Train and REO Speedwagon. They're coming to Blossom this summer. If you want to go to that show, I'll hook you up coming back.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app and your favorite smart